Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you witnesses for being here today. Mr. Campbell, I had the good fortune to represent, or as an attorney for a period of time, Idaho Power Company. It was engaged in trying to relicense its privately held dams on the Snake River. Not the four you generally hear about environmentalists trying to remove on the lower reaches of that river. And that process has taken something like 20 years. If everyone saw the intersection of policy arguments with trying to get something done in that space, that's it. Although I think that's kind of what you guys are all hinting at here, that we have the fight that goes on in court and the fight that goes on in the hearings. All of this seems to be a mixture of policymaking combined with trying to actually build something. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly where best to attack this problem, but my question to you is this. You say in your testimony that we are facing a crisis of shortage of electricity. I've heard it over and over and over again, driven in significant part by artificial intelligence. We see that China is dramatically ahead of us when it comes to electrical generation. Something like 86 gigawatts of coal created this year or within the last year in China. Where are we now? Well, we're still fighting through these kinds of mixtures of policy debate versus building something. My question to you is, what would you suggest that we do first in this space? I don't expect a magic bullet, but I want to know, what is it that we should focus on, in your opinion, to try to get out of the quagmire that we have created? And as an attorney, I understand it better than most, but give us your best shot at what we should do.
So you're absolutely correct, and we need power in this country. And I've never seen load growth like we're seeing right now, and data centers are a big driver. They're the hyperscalers. We have one in our territory that's load that I've never even dreamed of that we would have. I think we have to serve that load, and I think data centers and AI, we have to win this battle. We can't lose this to China, and that is we need to build generation. And in my opinion, with the NEPA process, we're not suggesting do away with it. We all want to be good stewards of the environment. However, we think there needs to be time limits. Let's have time limits on the litigation. Let's have time limits on all the agencies getting information done, because we need projects and we need them yesterday. We're already behind in this country, and without the ability to move quickly, we're going to be in trouble in this country. I see a catastrophic event happening in the future.
No, we had a situation in Oregon where land use planning had stalled out the construction of prisons. And suddenly we were overwhelmed by the challenge of finding a place to put people who had committed crimes, no place to house them. So the permitting process was set aside and the prisons were built. Is that what you're suggesting should happen here?
Could you repeat that question?
Yeah, so what happened, we set aside the process in Oregon because there was no way we were going to get a prison built the next 10 to 15 years. So the process went to the side, the prison got built. Is that what you're suggesting we should do in this electrical space, this generation space?
I'm sorry. I'm not suggesting do away with the process. I'm saying modify the process so you have an end date, right? I mean, what you don't want to do, in my personal opinion, is find certain things that you're going to circumvent doing everything, because we all want to protect the environment. But they need a limit, right? So you can build that prison when you need that prison. Not let people pervert the process.
Thank you. I appreciate that and your thoughts. I want to go to Mr. Harrogate for just a moment. Section 7 of the ESA is being perverted and used as an extortionary device to force people who are trying to get permits or get through these processes to pay exorbitant sums of money to state agencies, which they can then use in any way they like, and they just basically have to buy their way around the process in that fashion, right? Because they're setting the process aside and just saying, give us a bunch of money, we'll use it to offset whatever damage you're doing. Is that the solution?
Mitigation can work in many situations, but the reality is that a project developer in that situation, a habitat, has to get everything right and has to take care of all scenarios. And to take a project down, you only need to prevail on one theory and one thing at all. And because this is a risk-based standard, And so there are discretionary decisions being made about objective laws. And when you have a situation like that that is based on real people making subjective decisions based on what they think and what they feel, afraid of what they're going to be sued on, then you do not get an informed permitting process. You get overbilled and you get fear-based decision-making.
Thank you. Yield back.